Are you ready to tackle your next real estate adventure? Whether you're hunting for your first home or diving into big league land acquisitions, Array Real Estate is in your corner. At Array Real Estate, they are not just a real estate team, they are your agents for life. Array Real Estate's mission? To help you crush your real estate goals one deal at a time. Array Real Estate's roots run deep in the heart of the Pacific Northwest as proud alumni of the University of Idaho. With offices in Coeur d'Alene and Seattle, the team is here to give you a legendary real estate experience. Your success isn't just a goal, it's their top priority. Everything from cozy homes to land development to commercial spaces, Array Real Estate has you covered. They are all about making your real estate dreams come true with a dash of Vandal pride. Ready to make a move? Visit ArrayRealEstate.com and join the fun on Instagram at ArrayRE. Let Array Real Estate turn your dreams into wins. Array Real Estate, your go-to team for all things real estate and proud sponsors of Vandals Weekly. Array Real Estate will make real estate magic with you. Vandals Weekly back for another week. Thomas Ford Jr. joining us now here on the Big Sky Breakdown podcast series. His team coming off a narrow 23-20 win at Sacramento State. And Coach, I'll just ask you one question about last week, then we can sort of preview this rivalry game you got coming up against the Idaho State Bengals in Moscow on Saturday. But what'd you like? What do you want to improve on coming out of last week's narrow loss to Sacramento State?
No, I thought, there was a lot of really good things. In a lot of ways, our team played well enough to win. Defensively, you're never going to stop those guys from running the ball, but we certainly slowed them down. And we kept them out of the end zone. They've been scoring, close to 35 points a game, and to hold them, to 23 is pretty dang good. Offensively, I thought we got it going, especially in the second half. Very efficient on third down. We're 7 of 12 after being 1 of 11 a week ago. So there's a lot of good. I thought I took a lot of positive things, and probably the most positive thing was just the way our guys just continue to battle. They don't care about the score. They don't care about the time. They just keep playing, and very proud of this group for the way they played.
Been interesting to see the way Sac has sort of adjusted because they came into the year, I think, wanting to do something different than maybe what they've been doing, but they locked into it, and I think they've been a headache for everybody in the conference, right? I mean, when you face a team like that where they run the ball just downhill at you. I mean, they ran the ball 58 times against you guys.
Yes.
I think they ran it 56 against Eastern Washington.
Yep.
They looked like the old school Montana State teams when they had Tommy Mellott almost. So what have you thought of just sort of the adjustment now that you've seen them? I mean, where do they stack up with some of the other teams you've played in the conference so far this year?
In terms of their talent, they've got a bunch of talented dudes over there. There's no doubt they've got length and pretty much every position on defense, speed on every position on defense. That kind of three-headed monster of running backs they have is really good, and I think their quarterback does a good job with his legs too. So, definitely one of the more talented teams we saw all year, and a physical team as well. They're going to try to grind you and make you earn every second of your possessions when you have the ball, because you're not going to have as many possessions with the way that they play on offense.
Josh Wood's a guy you talked about all year, but it seems like he has really grown throughout this year, and it's easy to forget that he's only a sophomore. Because he's a captain and he's been sort of one of the faces of the program since you've taken over. So how have you seen him improve though? Because it does seem, since he came back from the injury, it seems like he's sort of back to his full form in terms of athleticism. But where have you seen him maybe sharpen his sword throughout the last couple of weeks?
I think with his decision making, I think he's been really good taking care of the football for the most part. I know he had an interception in the game, but not all interceptions are on the quarterback. I didn't necessarily think that one was on the quarterback, but I think he's taken care of the ball incredibly well. He's done a good job making decisions, especially on third down. There's been opportunities where there doesn't look like there's much in the passing game, and he sticks his foot in the ground and picks up 5 yards to move the chains. And so I think his leadership just really has grown a ton, especially over the last 5 games, where he's really kind of truly taken over as the leader of that offense. And I think his leadership, his decision-making skills, and those things have really blossomed over this kind of tail end of the season.
We got the season finale coming up in Moscow in the Kibbe Dome with Idaho State coming to your barn. First of all, what do you think of the trophy, the potato trophy? This thing's pretty cool, man. I know Jarrett Walcott for a long time. I know he carved this sucker for a couple of years ago, and we did a collaborative story with Extra Points newsletter on it a couple of years back, just about the sort of crafting of this sort of unique deal. So what do you think of just the trophy that's on the line for your team and the Bengals on Saturday?
Anytime you're playing for a traveling trophy, I think it's neat. And obviously the Potato State Trophy, in its all of its grandeur, it makes it even more special. And that thing's pretty neat. Jarek did a really good job creating that thing, and I think it's really created a situation where we have a true traveling trophy between the two schools, and something that we look forward to keeping here in Moscow for a long time.
Are you ready to tackle your next real estate adventure? Whether you're hunting for your first home or diving into big league land acquisitions, Array Real Estate is in your corner. At Array Real Estate, they are not just a real estate team, they are your agents for life. Array Real Estate's mission? To help you crush your real estate goals one deal at a time. Array Real Estate's roots run deep in the heart of the Pacific Northwest as proud alumni of the University of Idaho. With offices in Coeur d'Alene and Seattle, the team is here to give you a legendary real estate experience. Your success isn't just a goal, it's their top priority. Everything from cozy homes to land development to commercial spaces, Array Real Estate has you covered. They are all about making your real estate dreams come true with a dash of Vandal pride. Ready to make a move? Visit ArrayRealEstate.com and join the fun on Instagram at ArrayRE. Let Array Real Estate turn your dreams into wins. Array Real Estate, your go-to team for all things real estate and proud sponsors of Vandals Weekly. Array Real Estate will make real estate magic with you.
Just the rivalry with Idaho State. It's so interesting because the Vandals have so many rivals, right? You got Montana, you got Montana State, you got Eastern Washington, got Idaho State. How would you just describe this one though? You sort of being in state with each other, and that's getting more rare, right? Especially out west, like Oregon State aren't in the same conference anymore.
Yeah.
Washington State aren't in the same
Yeah.
conference anymore. You must be at least sort of excited that you still have an in-state rival to sort of have a season finale against.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like you said, that those rivalries are kind of disappearing a lot, especially here in the Pacific Northwest. We're really the only true in-state rivalry, in the Northwest, in terms of guys that are playing in the same conference, at meaning something towards conference standings at the end of the season, right? That just doesn't really exist. And so it's pretty special to have that, in the rivalry with the Bengals. And I think Coach Hawkins does a really good job over there. I think very highly of him. I think he brought in a really good defensive coordinator this year, with Grant. And Coach Duff and I have known each other for over 10 years. And so I think the world of both of those guys, and think they're doing a phenomenal job. And so, we've got our work cut out for us, but I think that they do too.
Well, Idaho State's certainly been a team that's been one of the most sort of steadily and also quietly hot teams in the league since they lost to Northern Arizona. They've won 3 in a row. They knocked off a top 10 Davis team, and then Cal Poly and Weber State took care of business pretty handily the last couple of weeks. So what have you seen in this last couple of weeks that make them a dangerous team as they bring their show to your house?
Well, I think they've got that running game going. Their running back number 28 is a great player. He's almost at 1,000 yards. I believe he's the second leading rusher in the conference, and he's been a huge lift for their offense to really keep teams off balance. Obviously, they can throw it around. I think their quarterback number 1 is a very good player. He's got great athleticism. He can get the ball downfield. He can extend plays and can create some problems when that play breaks down. And so, their offense, I think, is really good. Their defense has improved a ton. They may give up yards, but they don't give up a ton of points. And so at the end of the day, yards don't score points necessarily. So I think that they've really done a nice job containing a lot of teams defensively, slowing down people's passing game, and getting enough stops to get the job done, especially over the last 3 weeks.
You mentioned Jordan Cook. It's an interesting story. A guy that was a junior college guy, maybe really raw coming out, but they've done a good job of developing him. What do you think it is his talent level? Because when you watch him, you're right, he's athletic, but also, man, he can he can spin the pigskin.
He can, and he's got, a couple big, really good looking receivers running down the field, making plays down the field vertically with number 9 and number 14. And I think the quarterback, honestly, really kind of puts it all together for them. Coach Hawkins has been a guy that's done a great job with quarterbacks in the past and his other stops. And I don't think it's any different with what he's got going on with Jordan Cook right now.
What do you think of just the matchup then against your defense? What have you liked about the way your defense is playing the last couple of weeks? And what do you think of just the challenge they have at their disposal here this week?
Kind of similar to what I described with their defense. We've given up some yards here in the last couple of weeks, but we've done a good job keeping teams out of the end zone. And so I think our defense, again, has got to really, slow down their running game and make sure that we keep everything underneath, not allow them to have explosive plays because, again, those two outside receivers can go over the top and go make plays. And so we got to do a great job, with our eyes and staying on top of routes and, again, trying to slow down that run game.
Just having one more chance to battle with the guys. What's that mean to you? And how do you hope you guys sort of finish the season on a strong note?
Yeah, I mean, it means the world to me. This senior group is a group that could have left, right? They had an easy way out with the coaching change, and they decided to stay. Especially the guys that got into the portal and got out. Guys like Eli Cummings, Nate Azzopardi, Isaiah King, right, to name a few. Those guys got in and chose to come back because I became the head coach, and so those seniors will always be very special to me in that respect, and it'll be an exciting day for them, and want to send them out with a win.
Thomas Ford Jr. here on the Vandals Weekly podcast. Thanks for doing it, Coach. Good to see you, and we'll catch up soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, Colter.
So will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana Club.